It starts in the dead of night. Out in the open fields of America, under the pale glow of the moon, you can hear them before you see them. The grunts, the snorts, the rumble of hooves tearing through soil. By morning, the once perfect rows of corn are nothing but shattered stalks. What looks like the aftermath of a storm is actually the work of one of the most destructive invasive species the United States has ever faced: wild boars. These feral hogs, with their intelligence, aggression, and near supernatural ability to adapt, have transformed from a local nuisance into a national disaster. Once confined to the American South, wild boars now roam through over 40 states, leaving a trail of devastation across farms, forests, and even suburban neighborhoods. They are not just an ecological threat. They are a full-blown economic nightmare. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, feral hogs cause more than $2.5 billion in damage every year. That staggering number includes far more than a few broken fences or trampled crops. It represents destroyed irrigation systems, contaminated water sources, vehicle collisions, and millions of dollars drained from local, state, and federal budgets trying to control a problem that only seems to get worse. In rural America, where farming is not just a business, but a way of life, the presence of these animals feels like living in a war zone. Imagine working tirelessly for months, investing your savings and your soul into the land, only to wake up one morning and find acres of corn-flattened peanut fields uprooted, and rice paddies torn apart by creatures that appeared overnight and vanished before sunrise. For many farmers, that's not imagination, it's reality. A single group of wild boars, called a sounder, can destroy an entire field in just a few hours. The soil is left cratered from rooting, irrigation lines are shredded, and the crops that survive are contaminated with feces and bacteria. The aftermath is so severe that it can take months, even years, for the land to recover. And while other agricultural pests come and go with the seasons, wild boars are a year-round menace. They don't migrate, they don't hibernate, and they don't stop. They feed, breed, and destroy non-stop, from spring to winter, leaving behind a path of chaos wherever they roam. For small family farmers already struggling with tight margins and unpredictable markets, one major boar invasion can mean the difference between survival and bankruptcy. What makes this problem truly terrifying is how fast they reproduce. Unlike deer or cattle that produce 1 or 2 offspring a year, a single sow can give birth to 2 litters annually, each with up to a dozen piglets. And under the right conditions, those piglets reach maturity in just 6 months. That means 2 wild boars today can become 50 by the end of the year. Biologists often describe this explosion as a biological wildfire. Once it starts, it spreads uncontrollably. Even when thousands are removed each month, the population rebounds faster than hunters and trappers can keep up. This exponential growth makes complete eradication almost impossible. The threat doesn't stop at farmland. It extends into everyday life. Wild boars are strong, unpredictable, and incredibly aggressive when cornered. With razor-sharp tusks and muscular bodies, they can sprint at speeds up to 30 miles per hour, easily injuring or killing livestock, pets, and even people. Across the U.S., reports of boar attacks on hikers, hunters, and even homeowners have been rising steadily. In some southern communities, residents have woken up to find wild boars digging through trash, tearing up lawns, and standing defiantly in driveways. It's a chilling reminder that this is not just a rural problem anymore. It's creeping closer to cities, suburbs, and neighborhoods once thought safe. The question now is, how do you fight an enemy that reproduces endlessly, adapts to every trap, and thrives almost everywhere? One answer, at least for now, lies in controlled hunting. Across Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, and much of the South, hunters are leading the charge. Armed with night vision scopes, thermal drones, and sheer determination, they track and remove as many hogs as possible. In Texas alone, aerial hunting from helicopters has become a critical part of the strategy. Marksmen fly low over ranches, taking down hundreds of hogs in a single operation. It's dramatic, it's dangerous, and it's absolutely necessary. Hunting may not be the ultimate solution, but it's one of the few tools proven to make a real difference on the ground. Many farmers now work hand in hand with local hunters, offering access to their land in exchange for protection. Together, they form a frontline defense against a creature that respects no fence, no season, and no property line. Beyond hunting, researchers and wildlife officials are pushing for innovative solutions. Scientists are developing contraceptive baits designed to reduce fertility rates in feral hogs, while engineers are building smarter traps that use cameras and motion sensors to capture entire groups at once.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.